And today I want to talk about waiting and how to unlearn that if that's not serving. So, I have been talking to several of my amazing humanitarian clients, and the topic of waiting comes up a lot. And the way that it shows up is that we feel like most of our lives we keep waiting for something to occur so then we can feel a certain thing, right? So, one of my clients waiting for the compound life to be over so that she can do and build her life and living her life in the way she wants to. Or another one is she was telling me that she keeps having this feeling of I'm here in this assignment in this duty station only for 1 year, and then the 1 year turns to 3 years, and then it keeps going, and then feeling like in this feel place of it needs like if I go through and go over this, then I will get to a certain feeling. Oftentimes, when we think about this, is I think we feel like if we go through these things, then we'll feel settled. But then we'll feel satisfied, happy, content, being with our loved ones, and all of those feelings, right? So therefore, as if like we don't allow ourselves to feel settled where we are currently, or we don't allow ourselves to feel like we can live the life the way we want to, even currently where we are, or we keep postponing living our lives basically to a later stage, right? Or we put our life on hold. So, if this is familiar to you, then here are the ways that I would like for you to start looking at things. Is one of the ways that I think we often try to solve it is we try to say that, oh, okay, I will just make my routine and then things will be fine, right? And maybe it will be many for many of you, and that's amazing. But for those of us who feel like I haven't arrived where I want to, or we don't have this feeling of settled, we don't have this feeling of fulfilled or content, and we just keep waiting for the next thing or something else to occur and then feeling that type of place or that type of situation, then this is what I would like to suggest is that we need to understand what are the thoughts or belief systems behind those feeling of I can't feel it now, I can only feel it then, right? So we need to understand what is the feeling that we're not allowing ourselves to feel currently. So maybe the feeling is settled, or the feeling is content, right? The feeling is fulfilled, feeling is relief, feeling is arrived, whatever that feeling is that you are not allowing yourself to feel currently, ask yourself why. Why aren't you able to feel it currently, right? So there might be certain thoughts, certain feelings that are preventing you from feeling those feelings. And some of the thoughts that I have been discovering with my clients, and I have done it on my own journey as well, is that some of the thoughts that keep us preventing from feeling settled, feeling um, I can also live my life the way I want to now, whatever my situation is, whether I'm in compound, whether I am in a duty station that is not what I thought it would be, or whatever it is, right? So let us challenge ourselves to feel what if we can feel that feeling now where we are? Because as long as we keep um, continuing that pattern of I can be feeling all of this only then kind of a place, then we will continue doing it even when we have arrived at the place where we wanted to. And this is my own experience, the testimony that I'm telling you from my own experience is that when I used to be humanitarian, I would always say that, well, when I get to a place where I have my own home and my loved ones, and then I will feel happy, settled, like finally at home, and these kind of feelings, right? And then once I arrived there, it took me, I think, a year or more to really feel like at home, even though I was at home, even though I was with my loved ones, but the feeling was not there. And I realized it's because my brain has been so used to feeling like going somewhere, like needing to be somewhere, right? And this feeling kept coming and over until I have intentionally started looking at, okay, what are the thoughts that keep creating me being always on the go, always on the move to somewhere else versus feeling settled. And some of the thoughts that kept coming up is that, what if it's only temporary, right? Because in the past, my brain has always been, oh, this is only temporary, or this is only for this 1 year, or this is only for 2 years, or I just need to get through this. I I can only do this if I have success. I can only do this if I have this. Thing, whatever it is, right? So I have been so much in this I can only then kind of statement that I was robbing myself the opportunity to feel settled, even though my brain before used to tell me if those situations externally, these conditions are met, then you will feel settled, right? So that is why let us explore with you is that if you felt settled, if you felt like you had all the things you wanted, how or what would be different, right? What would be different with your own life, like with your own feelings in your daily life? Now, obviously, you would be with your loved ones, or you would be in a different duty station, or maybe you would be in a different city. Those things will be changed, but in terms of how you would be feeling, what are the feelings you would be feeling, right? And how much of those feelings can we create already where you are now so that we can start getting you to feeling what you want to feel where you are now? So, for instance, if you say that when you would go to a particular duty station, or maybe you would leave the humanitarian world, whatever it is, right? Then let's say that you would start dating. That's your brain is telling you that if you start dating and create a relationship, then you will be feeling like fulfilled or settled or whatever it is that you believe you will feel. Now let us challenge you and say, what if you could already start dating where you are now? Even if it's online, even if with the people you know, whatever it is, or um, if even if you're not like even if you don't want to date the people where you are now, let's say, and you want to date people back home or whatever the other circumstances are, what if you could already start doing that and traveling whenever possible, right? So in other words, the goal of this exercise is really getting our brain to mm, like challenging to say, okay, what if some of the things that we're wanting to feel, some of the experiences that we're wanting to have, what if we can have that already where I am now? Like whether it's a compound situation, whether it's a duty station that I'm not really into it, whatever it is, let's challenge ourselves to feel some of them already where we are. And the reason why that is so important is because you start unlearning some of your habitual patterns of your brain to say that we can only live the life we want to when XYZ happens, right? Instead, what if we can already live the life we want to where we are? What things would need to change? What thoughts do I need to change? Right? So some of the thoughts may be that I'm only temporary. But even if that's true, is that really serving you? Or it's making you do things like not live your current life, right? Then how could you change that thought into, yes, I am temporary, or I'm here for 2 years or 1 year, but I'm going to live my life the way that I want to? And how would that look like? right? What other things would be different? How would you feel different versus you just waiting for something else to happen? The other example could be that, let's say that you wanted to feel like at home where you are currently, even though that's not your home and you understand that, but how would you make it homey currently? Right? What would be different if you felt like this was your home? Like maybe certain objects would be different, or maybe the way that you treat your place would be different. Maybe the way that you do your routines would be different. What is it that would be different, right? Because when I have started doing this differences of what would be if I really felt like I'm at home, that I'm not really in the waiting mode versus always being in the waiting mode, is that the difference was that I was no longer spending a lot of time like working or trying to figure something out, but I was feeling like, okay, I want to do many other things as well in like in addition to my work, and how would I want to do that, right? And started opening my brain around what other things I could do. Or the other thing is, I think I was like creating even like small things like my wardrobe was getting more organized and more like the way I want to, instead of just like, it's temporary, or until I get to the new thing, or until I get to another place kind of thing, right? So, and I think overall the feeling that when you are at home feeling, I have this feeling of like relieved, relaxed, at peace. And even though like I have decided to work to live in Kyrgyzstan half the year and here in Italy half the year, right? But still, that half of the year, how do I want to live in the way that feels like at home? Feels like I have my things. I like doing certain things. I like feeling like at home. And even feeling like at home, how does that feel for you? Feeling settled, how does that feel for you? And what would be different if you stopped waiting, but rather being where you are, right? Not even doing things, but just like feeling and being grounded where you are, and how would that be different? Because if we really felt like we are there where we are doing the best out of our situation and living our life to the fullest that's possible where we are, then going to the next thing would be, time would fly, right? That's one thing. And therefore, it wouldn't be like, we're dragging ourselves to the next thing, but rather we don't even like realize, oh my God, the time has passed. That would be one thing. Another one is that our body would be so used to feeling like at home, grounded, at peace in the places where we are, even though our goal is we're wanting to go maybe in the future somewhere else and settle there, but at least we already know how that settling feels, how that living our life feels, how socializing with other people feels, right? How we start connecting to other people, to creating friends. All of those could be already amazing skills that we have nourished and nurtured, and then we go to the next place that we actually want to settle for a long period. Then we know how it feels like, we know what it is like, and it's already like the skill set that we have built and unlearned the waiting type of skill that our brain or our body is so good at repeating, right? So that's why I really want you to allow yourself to understand at least some of the feelings. What am I really looking forward to feeling when I settle, or when I have my real life in quotes, right? Or when I really go back to the duty station I want, or when I no longer have a compound life. What are the feelings that I'm looking forward to? And how much of those I can already start creating and feeling in my body with certain exercises, with certain changes in my routine, with certain way of approaching my journey, or a certain way of allowing myself to settle where I am, how would that be different? And start feeling and experiencing your life that way now. That way, you don't need to be holding your life on hold. You don't need to be postponing your life. You start building the muscle of feeling settled at home, uh, at peace within your body, within yourself. Then going to the next thing and building that there will be even better, even more easier, and you will already have understood how to do that. So I would love to coach you on this topic if you're struggling with it. So come coach with me. I have helped so many humanitarians by now to feel this feeling of settled, feeling of at peace, feeling of making changes in their lives to the fullest possible, no matter where they are, so that they're not just waiting to live their life at a later stage. So have a beautiful week, everyone. I will speak to you very soon. Thank you. Bye.